large crowd was following Republican Jesus, and as the days passed, his disciples came and said to him, "Republican Jesus, these people have been following you for 3 days, and they've become very hungry, and we only have 5 loaves of bread and 2 fish." And Republican
This is going to be some capitalist shit, something like give like a big portion to this many people and like a small portion to the rest of them, something like that. I don't know.
Jesus said, "Bring the fish and the bread to me." And his disciples did. And Republican Jesus took 99% of the bread and the fish and gave the 1% back for the disciples to spread amongst the followers evenly.
Okay.
And the disciples said, "But how shall we feed all these people with only 1% of the bread and the fish?" And Republican Jesus said, "Why are these people always looking for a handout?
Yeah.
They should just go out and get a job."
I knew this is going to be a skit, but yeah, this is better.
And the disciples were in awe at Republican Jesus' wisdom.
What are those sound effects? Sound effects are really crazy.
When walking down the streets, Republican Jesus was approached by an old blind man. "Have mercy on me, Republican Jesus," said the blind man. And Republican Jesus said, "What is it you want?" And the blind man said, "Republican Jesus, I am blind, and I wish to see. Can you heal me?" And Republican Jesus said, "Oh, Obamacare didn't take care of that for you?" And the blind man said, "Republican Jesus, you're right."
This reminds me of one of those pens. It's called EpiPens or something, and that it's like so expensive in the US that a lot of people just cannot afford it. And I think someone even died because they couldn't afford that. It's like $1,000 or two, and it's like really cheap in all other countries, and it's not something like it's not some very special technology or research or like it's not a very special thing, like in a lot of countries it's available and for way cheaper. So it reminds me of that.
Right. I'll just go back to being blind. And all his disciples were in awe of Republican Jesus' wisdom.
Sound effect is killing me.
Republican Jesus had noticed that a crowd had gathered around a young woman, and they were about to stone her to death. "What's going on here?" said Republican Jesus. And the crowd said, "This woman expects us to pay for her contraceptives with our tax money. We're going to stone her." And Republican Jesus said, "Cast no stone. That is a waste of stone, and I need these stones to build my 15th house. Just throw her off a bridge instead." And all the disciples were in awe at Republican Jesus'
I love
wisdom.
the sound effect.